I saw somebody burning, somebody burning like they pour petrol in a tire.
What?
Yep.
Shalom YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Today I have a special guest. Introduce yourself, let them know who you are.
I'm Kosinati Nkosi, aka Smeganati. Yay. I'm a musician, I'm a filmmaker, graphic designer, etc. etc.
All right, man. So today I brought my brother out today, and we want to talk about the topic of xenophobia, guys. Since being on the continent, I've heard a lot of different things pertaining to South Africa with xenophobia, and I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions with it also. So we spoke a little bit about it in some of our videos, but I only felt like it was right to bring a local out and get his honest opinion on it, and just his thoughts. So let's not hold y'all up. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so my first question I want to ask you, my brother Shmega, is what's your honest opinion on xenophobia, I guess against African nationals on the continent? What you got to say about that?
First and foremost, xeno, we must be able to break the word.
Yes, sir.
Xeno means foreign.
Okay.
Phobia, it's a fear.
Right.
So having a fear of other nationals. So most of the time, South Africans, when it comes to other foreigners, they are threatened.
Yeah.
You see, but most of the time, my opinion is that it is caused by, number one, lazy South Africans who always like to blame things on other people, especially if a fellow from another nation will come and perfect that thing that they are failing from. It becomes a problem to a South African.
Wow.
So they release that anger violently. So they release that anger utilizing, prejudice. You can name them, everything that they try to do in terms of making sure that they don't want this fellow brother or sister.
Wow.
So my opinion is that majority of South Africans, they're just lazy to do stuff, and then other guys from other countries, they come and do them, and then they just wanna chase them away.
Yeah. See, I've heard from many South Africans when I bring up the topic of xenophobia, they say things like, well, I think it's a misconception because they think we hate all Africans, and that's not the case. And I guess their main issue is that African foreigners are coming in and they're, I guess, getting paid low wages, which South Africans can't afford to get paid the same wages, right?
Yeah.
And so they say, well, these foreigners are coming in, they're undercutting us with jobs, they're taking all of our jobs, and we can't afford to live. And then also another thing was they're committing crimes and blaming it on South Africans, and that's one of the reasons why South Africa's crime rate is so high. So what do you have to say about that? What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is in two ways. Hence I said at the beginning, it is caused by lazy South Africans, but at the same time, there are foreigners out there who come with negative intentions into our country. For example, in South Africa, we have plumbers.
Yes.
We find a person who leaves their country out there coming to South Africa to do plumbing. It's a skill that we don't need.
Yeah.
We have it from ourselves, So I feel like it's always, we must look at things both sides.
Balance, right?
You see? So majority of drug dealers is not South Africans.
Okay.
We know. Majority of them is Nigerians. You see? So we know that when it comes to crime, the serious crime,
yes,
it's very rare you find a South African. I'm not saying they are not there. It's very rare to find them there or them becoming the mafias in that department. It's either South African was hired. You see, we always come last when it comes to such things. I don't know why, because as South Africans, we were in exile years ago. We went to their countries. We never opened human trafficking. We never did drug dealing. We were there just as refugees, and then we came back.
Right. That was good, my brother. So that was a good answer. So I have another question for you. So how do you feel about those, I guess, South Africans or should I say, have you experienced any South Africans or xenophobia in general on the continent that made you like, they shouldn't maybe be treating, you know, our fellow Africans this way, and it was a thing of hate, you know, that which xenophobia is, you know, quote unquote really is pretty much hate toward other Africans. So have you seen that personally?
Yes, I've seen it personal with my own story.
Okay, let me hear it.
Let me tell you about here in South Africa before
Yes,
we
sir.
can even discuss Xeno.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about South Africa.
Let's do it.
Here in South Africa, we can hate each other. Xenophobia exists within each other.
Wow.
You see, I'm Swati. I grew up in KwaNdebele. I was born and bred there.
Gotcha.
In KwaNdebele, meaning that I am a Swati growing up in the Ndebele cultural, you know, customs. One thing I realized is that I was discriminated extremely. You know, Ndebeles, they have what we call initiation school. It's their tradition. Men go to an initiation school, women go to an initiation school. I'm Swati. My culture doesn't do initiation schools. It's only women or girls who are virgins who undergo certain things. But as a male, the only thing that they do as a Swati, the elders are teaching us how to be a man. We don't get initiated. So I was in KwaNdebele. Since I was a Swati, I was discriminated. I was told that I would be a forever boy because I'm not a man enough. So when it comes to women, when I was in my puberty stage, as I was approaching girls, man, girls didn't want me because of I'm a boy. My tribe, the Swati people, are regarded as boys because they don't get initiated. So xenophobia starts from discrimination and then it becomes xenophobia. That means it's an extreme hate now.
Yeah.
You see? So I've experienced it, my brother. And I've learned one thing, that I must focus on myself, focus on what Jah invested in me.
Absolutely.
The very same people that were discriminating on my childhood, when I go there now, they want to try to accommodate me.
Wow.
So it's the same as xenophobia.
Yeah.
I can hate you, but once you save my son's life, will I hate you?
Nah.
Yeah, that's my honest opinion
Right.
about it. To say I've seen it, and then I didn't like it when it happened also in our community. I'm now in Gauteng.
Yeah.
I saw it with the Pakistans. I saw it with my bare naked eye. I saw a person burning.
Wow.
Those are things I don't
You seen somebody
see.
burning?
I saw somebody burning, you know, somebody burning like they pour petrol in a tire.
What?
Yep.
Wow. But I would say, you know, tribalism, because we've been to multiple different African countries on the continent, right?
Yeah.
And I know tribalism is a real thing. So it's hate between the same people in the same country also, like kind of how you experience. And it's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I would have to say, coming from America and not necessarily being born on the continent, is I've seen mostly nothing but love.
Exactly.
You know, from South Africans, like wholeheartedly, bro.
Exactly.
Like more than almost more than any other countries I've been to, because I feel like with apartheid and with what we had to face in America with slavery, I feel like it connects our people together, brother.
More
you know what I'm saying? More than anything. And it sucks to have to hear from many different people, not only Africans, but also Americans, that, you know, you're going to go to South Africa and automatically be hated. Now, the overall general consensus, right? Do you feel like South Africans as a whole treat other African foreign nationals well in South Africa?
I would say no.
Overall, no.
Big no.
Okay.
As I told you, I've never seen a professional, a doctor, that takes a day off to say, I'm going to strike. I'm going to protest against foreigners.
Yeah.
I've always seen the laziest people in the corner of South Africa. The ones that are bored, have no vision, no ambition. They are the ones who are making the South African image look stunted, you know, because we are not all of us are against foreigners.
Gotcha.
You see, especially I'm a musician. I work well with foreigners.
Right.
I learn from those foreigners. They are my brothers. The only thing different is the location for me. And xenophobia is like it's a man-made thing.
Yeah.
Because why is it black killing black? I've never seen a white-skinned person burning.
Right.
Or seeing majority of black people against other races.
Yeah.
Rather than black on black.
Yeah.
So it's a man-made for me. It's something that has been engineered in the lab.
Yeah, because when I look at these other races in South Africa, right? I look at the Indians, I look at whether it be the Afrikaans, the Chinese, they're one, bro.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter if they're people coming from India
Belgium, or Vietnam or Thailand.
They're supporting, bro.
Exactly.
And they're in it. They have their communities. They're together. But what I see in South Africa, I don't see that as much with all of the Africans together becoming one. It's okay. We got the Nigerians here. We got the South Africans here. We got this group here. But the thing is, while they playing everybody against each other, you should be the ones coming together. You know what I'm saying? So I would say for the ones that do have the xenophobia, what would you say to them on, the actions they should take in order to change their perception and maybe, have a different outlook on people coming in and quote unquote taking their jobs and stealing from them, right? The reason they feel some type of way. What would you tell them?
According to my opinion, I would say before you can start even contemplating that, you need to ask yourself, who are you? Who are you to pick up that stone?
Yeah.
Who are you to pick up that knife? Who are you for you to say this one doesn't belong here?
Yeah.
You must, if you are a Zulu, you must ask your elders, where does Zulu tribe comes from? Where does Swati tribe come from? Where does Pedi tribe come from? Because we majority of us, we are all from Congo, hailed down to the southern part of Africa. You must not think about how the leaf of a tree is looking like, and then you forsake the grassroots. You forget the stems, the roots that are pulling the very same leaf you are breaking about.
Right.
It's like, I feel like South Africans must now stop thinking like a leaf, and they must start to think like a root of a tree. Because if my great-great-great-great-grandparents are from Tanzania, who am I to ban Tanzania? I'm causing myself a huge curse.
Hey, you speaking now?
Generational curse.
Hey.
That is supposed to be repaid by generations for God to forgive me.
Hey, y'all listen to what he's saying now.
So you must know who you are. Me, I'm Kosi. I'm Swati. But Swatis come from Kenya.
Yeah.
For us to inhabit that Swaziland, that land. So from that name, Swazi, land.
Yeah.
It means that it was a land for Swazis.
Yeah.
I don't know in English what is a Swazi. The one that you whip.
It's bushes, man.
You see?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bush. Yes, that's my brother is saying.
Yeah. Hey, possibly.
But we are not from we are not Swaziland. We are from there, but we are not that.
Yeah.
So that's what I can say to a fellow South African who is trying to entertain this xenophobia mentality.
Yeah.
To say, know who you are, man.
Hey, for sure. Know who you are, and you won't ever be, you won't ever look at somebody like,
nah.
Because at the end of the day, you're looking at that person like, okay, they're better than you. I can't do this job. If somebody else coming to take the job, I'm not good enough in order to, get the same job.
Yeah.
Everything's a competition, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to feel confident enough in yourself it doesn't matter who comes, what happens. For one, we're going to build with each other, and for two, I know my skills are good enough, for me to get employed anywhere or to start any business, and it doesn't matter who comes.
Exactly.
As long as the Most High is on my side, I can do all things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I want to also speak on this, coming from America. A lot of, I would say, other Africans, when I say we haven't experienced it that much, right?
Yeah.
They'll tell me, well, you're coming from America. And so they treat Black Americans different than they do any other African that's on the continent. So that's why you haven't experienced it. What you have to say about that? Because I don't know 100% if I'm being treated different.
No, what you are saying, I can back it up. It's actually truth.
Okay.
Africans, I will say it in broader. They have this mentality that a foreigner is anyone who is from the continent or the country in itself. But someone coming from abroad, flying, passing the ocean, we don't regard them as foreigners.
Yeah.
You see? So for me, it's a mental illness.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for me to kill you while I was living with you many, many years. But it's hard for me to kill an intruder that just arrived now. Hence, that's why I always put the blame on our forefathers.
Yeah.
To say, how do you allow to be deceived by a mirror? And dent the whole, you understand? How, like, why were you having those coward genes all along? Why couldn't you stand your ground and say, no, this is my land, this is our people.
Right.
You have to pass this for you to enter here.
Absolutely.
Protocol.
Absolutely.
You see, I see a lot of people who are now changing principle than changing a method. It's a problem. Change a method. Don't change principle. Do not move an old boundary, my brother. So I feel like
these are biblical facts. You know what I'm saying? These is facts, bro. So to end it out, I want to just ask you, do you have anything that you want to say to the people, you know, and to close off this topic of xenophobia, and so it'd be no more confusion on this topic, because I don't see a lot of these conversations being had on the continent. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of this and this and that, but you know, I'm glad you brought the real. So is there anything closing that you want to tell the people, you know, just to help them out and give them some positive?
Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, yes, I have. I have something that I want to just invest out there.
Yeah.
I just want to tell people of the continent that we are one, number one.
Yes, sir.
A country was established recently, I will say recently, but back in the ancient days, we were one. So when continental drift occurred, we were separated into different platonics. That one we know. Even now, Kenya is now drifting. It's part of life. Doesn't mean that after the Kenyan land has been divided into two, meaning that it's another country that side. No, that land still belongs to Kenya.
Yeah.
So all I can say is, remember one thing about life. Rather invest your hate into love. You will see what will happen into your life, you know, especially the xenophobia people. I would say to you, I understand your frustration. Sometimes other foreigners out there, they are a burden to our economy. You know, they come here just to consume and send back things to their homeland. I'm encouraging that every foreigner in South Africa, may they come with a mutual business. May they come with a mutual mentality of both benefiting the countries. Benefit where you come from as much as we are benefiting where we are chowing from. So don't just come with a monopoly idea, you know. Come with, how can I impact South African with this skill as much as I'm being impactful at home. So don't come and do what we do. Bring something different. Bring investments. Bring a solution into our country. Don't bring a problem. Because if you bring a problem, our fellow brothers and sisters, they are angry.
Yeah.
Number one, they're angry about themselves. And then you coming with a problem from outside, they will do what they are doing. You see, so let's just keep Africa at peace. Bring investment, bring a change, bring a solution. No one is gonna burn you alive.
Man, powerful, powerful, powerful stuff, man. I really appreciate you coming out to take the time and speak about this, brother, like more than you know, and I feel like it's needed for our people.
No, it is.
You know, to actually come together. I know these are tough conversations, but they need to be had. So to end it off, you know, do you have any social media or anything that you want to let the people know to come follow you at?
I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, on socials I go by the name Smeganati on TikTok, Smeganati Nkosi on Facebook, at Smeganati99 on Instagram. You know what it is. I just want to close by saying, xenophobia, what they hate, what they shame, what about blood on the street, what they saying, what about me when you burn me alive? Think about that.
Facts. And with that being said, family, thank you once again for watching us all the way through, and we love you. And as always,
thank you, brother.